Have you ever prayed but never got an answer, and wondered if God was really there? Did you feel all hope was gone, but in His time He came along and answered the prayer you thought was gone? There is no prayer too small, for God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no prayer too small. Will ask, you shall receive. No matter what it is, I still believe. There is no prayer too small, and even when we fall, He gives us just exactly what we need. There is no prayer too small, for God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no prayer too small. No prayer too small. He always knows what's right. God hears them all. There is no prayer too small. My God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no prayer too small. No prayer too small. No prayer too small. God hears them all.
Hello, my name is Ralf Friedrichs. I'm an addiction recovery coach and a host of the Take Your Life Back Today show. As an addiction recovery coach, I want to share something with you. Let me be crystal clear, leave an everlasting impact. Just imagine being buried alive. You're in a coffin, but you know you're not dead. You don't know how to get out of that coffin. You tried lifting the weight of the lid, but all the dirt that's upon the lid is preventing you from opening the lid. Then you try to bang on the lid, so maybe you can unsettle the dirt and somebody might dig their way down towards you. This is what it's like to find yourself at the lowest point of alcohol and drug addiction. You know you need help, you know you can't do it on your own, but you don't know where to turn. In reality, there are people standing by your grave. You just don't know that. You just think you're going to die. Usually, though, people don't think about that when they're habitually abusing drugs and alcohol. In order to feed an addiction, you have to be great at repressing the fear of death. I often ask you, my audience, did it ever cross your mind while you were abusing drugs and alcohol that maybe, just maybe, someone might have you just overdose, and then, or you just will overdose, I should say, and when you overdose, you take something special away from the people that love you most, people like your mother, your father, your brother, your sister. With this, let me leave one last thought with you. Don't be the person that went to their grave never seeking help. Instead, reach out. Call me at 844-405-HELP. I promise I'll help you take your life back. For your life is gone. People like Larry Geist from the Geist Academy, 30 years experience as an addiction recovery coach, a life coach. He will help you from your addiction to your recovery. He will help you from depression to happier times, low self-esteem to raising your self-esteem. You can find him at www.odysseyconsultant.org. Larry Geist from the Geist Academy, 516-458-2741. Folks, don't forget to take your slippers off before you go to bed at night. Don't just put them by the edge of your bed. Stick them under your bed. In the morning when you wake up and you get to see beautiful scenery like this because God allowed you another day on earth, get on your knees to retrieve those slippers because they're under that bed. And when you're on your knees, have your personal chat time with God. Tell God thank you. Thank you for another beautiful day on this earth. Ask God for guidance and direction for a beautiful week ahead. Ask God for forgiveness and mercy. Thank God for your home, your clothing, your food, your relationships. And each and every morning, if you do this, your life will become better. Once you completed that, put those slippers on and walk with God 24/7. Then tonight, do the same thing again. Take your slippers off, put them under your bed. In the morning, repeat the pattern. Thank God for another beautiful day. Remember, each and every day that God gives you is another beautiful day. Because one day will be your last day on earth, like for the person I just read about. If you need help, seek God and seek human help. But God is the main source to all your problems. Let it be today that you find peace and happiness through the power of God. And there's no better way to communicate with God than through the power of prayer. Compulsive lying disorder. How many folks do you know, folks, that has a problem that they lie about every single thing? You can't believe anything they say anymore because everything is a lie to them. Well, let's talk about that today, shall we? Compulsive lying, liar is someone who lies with ease and finds comfort in it. The person may even continue to lie when presented with the truth and cold hard facts. Let's fix this here. Getting a compulsive liar to admit he or she lied can be nearly impossible. Lying is a symptom of a disorder. Compulsive lying disorder is not actually documented psychiatric disorder. Instead, it's a term used to describe what may be a symptom of another psychiatric disorder, such as borderline personality disorder, narcissism, or bipolar disorder. Not all people who are compulsive liars suffer from psychiatric illnesses, but there is usually an underlying reason for their behavior. According to Psychology Today, people with psychiatric disorders lie for a variety of reasons. Admiration and popularity is two reasons. The person wants to reward or reclaim or something he or she for something he or she did not even do. He or she craves attention and esteem from others to combat feelings and inadequacy. They may also seek attention by pretending to be victims of crimes or creating other dramatic situations that didn't really even happen in their life. Two other reasons is control and manipulation. People will sometimes lie because they want something maybe they wouldn't be able to get otherwise. Their lying continues because the person craves the attention and thrill of getting away with it, or attempt to manipulate the victim of the lies even further. Sometimes they use gaslighting, a technique where they convince others that their realities are incorrect, and only the liar knows what really happened. Could be because of low self-esteem. People who feel down on themselves and want to look better in the eyes of people around them will often make up stories about themselves. The goal here is to gain sympathy or even empathy. Perhaps they fear people will reject them, and if they think they have any bad qualities, so they make up some really good stories. Disguising failure. The person wants to avoid getting in trouble or to make other people feel responsible for something he or she has done. This can be a severe problem at any particular workplace. The difference between a pathological compulsive liar the difference between pathological and compulsive liar, I should say. Many people get those two confused because they are so very similar. A pathological liar, also known as a sociopath, is quite different from a compulsive liar. The pathological liar will lie for absolutely no reason whatsoever and do so very convincingly. As clinical psychologist Martha Stroud told an Interview magazine, they often lie just to see if they can trick people. These people are great at lying in all circumstances because they completely lack empathy for other folks. How to deal? Because compulsive liars usually have an underlying psychiatric disorder or addiction, treatment starts with the disorder or addiction in hopes that, with stabilizing, the lying will decrease or stop altogether. You can find typical treatments for underlying disorders through the National Institute of Mental Health. What type of medication, you might ask? Any medication prescribed depends on the disorder itself, but usually includes antidepressants or antipsychotics. Cognitive behavioral therapy, the process of changing your thoughts to change your behavior, is one of the most effective forms of therapy for many psychiatric disorders, addictions, and their symptoms, including compulsive lying. What are some of the treatments? Treatment success depends on how willing the sufferer is to seek help. Taking medication can be easy, but psychotherapy takes work. The person must be an active participant and follow through with the entire treatment plan. The problem with compulsive liars is that they have a difficult time telling the truth in therapy, and this can be detrimental to reaching treatment plan goals. Experienced therapists are able to tell when people are not telling the truth, and they are able to help them realize that they have been doing and how it has affected not only their lives but people around them. Finding treatment for yourself or a friend. If you find yourself lying more often than you usually do, or feel unable to stop lying, seek out professional help. Contact your doctor, who will most likely give you a referral for a psychiatric evaluation by a psychiatrist or a psychologist. You can also contact your local mental center for information on resources in your area, including counselors and support groups. Confronting somebody about lying problem is a challenging task. It's a fine line between insulting a person and trying to help that person. The person will most likely become defensive and resist any sort of treatment. The more you push the issue, the more the person may even resist. The only thing you can do is voice your concern and offer help. Spending time with a liar can be frustrating and exhausting. So if the person does not want to seek help, you will need to decide if it's worth your energy to remain supportive towards that person. What you don't want to do is push the person into a corner where that person will alienate themselves from everyone else. But we, as innocent bystanders, can only take so much from the line. Their story goes back to a long time ago about the boy that cried wolf, because when a person lies about every single thing in life, there comes a time where you just don't believe anything, and you question everything, and you doubt everything. And who wants to go through life feeling that way about a loved one? So if you're watching and you know you have an issue about lying, whether it's to draw attention, to get pity, or whatever reason, it is better to seek help today. You can seek help through God, and you can seek help through professional help here on earth. But you need to get help, because there's a time when all your family members and your friends just doubt each and every word that you say, and why would you want to go through life that way? By reaching out for help, there is no shame whatsoever. I reached out for help for my addiction, and in the beginning I thought it was shameful, but at the end of the day, years later, I am proud that I reached for help. This person I read about did not reach for help and went to their grave without getting help. If you're watching me and you're a pathological liar or you're a compulsive liar, here's the biggest lie you're telling, not just to everyone else, but to yourself. that you're denying that you lie too much. That is the biggest lie. Get help, and get help today. Call me at 844-405-HELP. I promise you, I'll get you all the help that you need. I'll assist you in any which way. Remember, folks, I keep a hard copy of everything that I talk about on these shows. So if you want a copy, call me at 844-405-HELP, or you can text me at 631-599-0218. And together, you and I will help see the truth. Take care.
Have you ever prayed but never got an answer, and wondered if God was really there? Did you feel all hope was gone, but in His time He came along and answered the prayer you thought was gone? There is no prayer too small, for God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no prayer too small. Will ask, you shall receive. No matter what it is, I still believe. There is no prayer too small, and even when we fall, He gives us just exactly what we need. There is no prayer too small, for God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no prayer too small. No prayer too small. He always knows what's right. God hears them all. There is no prayer too small. My God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no